Satellite, goddammit. And this is episode 7. And today I have here with me my dear friend Alex Parez, A.K.A El Rojo, A.K.A. Anyways, this is Alex Parez. Today we have found a good time, November fine rainy day outside in Rhodeside Grill. And here I am to have a little chat with Alex Parez for my 7th episode. So Alex Parez, dear friend of friend, please tell us a little about yourself, or a lot if you like.
A little or a lot? Where to begin?
Back in the day, the very beginning.
In the beginning. You know I have a degree in music for music performance.
I actually didn't know that. That's my first time finding
Oh, okay. Now you know. So I think that's pretty far back, college. That's like over 20 years ago, 22 years ago. I graduated in 99. Music performance, classical saxophone, studied a lot of jazz, saxophone, improvisation, and composition and arranging as well. Dr. David Jacobson was my saxophone teacher, Chip McNeil was my jazz professor, and they taught me oh too well, so much so that I don't play saxophone anymore.
So good.
No, I loved it, and it was great, and I was able to apply a lot of that knowledge to singing and guitar, which I eventually started doing when I was 29 or 30. My first open mic at IOTA Club and Cafe was just a short while ago. That anniversary was around mid-September 2006. The owner was there. It was his birthday party. Stephen and a whole lot of other super nice local musicians welcomed me to their fold, and I played a boy named Sue. They let me up on stage. I'm sure I sounded terrible, and they loved it nonetheless and encouraged me, and yeah, so over 15 years later, here I am, still singing songs all over Arlington, wherever, any place that'll have me.
Okay. Thanks for that great intro to yourself. Poor boy named Sue, is that what you said?
A boy named Sue.
I don't know why I said poor, probably because I'm poor.
But I like that juxtaposition of poor boy, a long way from home was a favorite John Fahey song of mine. So I need to figure out a way to combine those two songs together now. Thank you, Sid.
Do it. I think if you bring that to fruition, that'd be great. Also, for our viewers especially, you said IOTA. Could you tell me what IOTA is? A little IOTA of hope. Yeah.
So IOTA Club and Cafe was one of the first music venues I went to back in 2001 or so. They were operating down the street here from 1994 to 2017. Wonderful music venue, live music venue. Made so many great friends there and still have to this day. And it's a wonderful open mic I got to host for the last few years. They were open, and brought the open mic here to Rhodeside Grill when it closed, which I know you know that. And I'm trying to think of stuff you don't know, because that's kind of what you're getting at, right?
I don't know a lot of things.
Neither do I, clearly.
So lucky you.
So, it was a wonderful music club. They had tons of bands there. I performed there often, solo and with bands, and got to see tons of friends' bands play there. Of course, John Mustine and Canyon, Brandon Butler, and Derek Avery, Jason Mendelson, and Metro Songs Band, and you name it. Ray Sun, the legendary Ray Sun, there. He still comes out here to Rhodeside Wednesday nights, like you know, and all the folks know, or maybe they don't know, because who knows, right?
No one knows, or some of us know. It's good to know things, and also it's good to not know things. Anyways, let's back up just a little bit, Alex.
Yeah, backing it up.
Let's back it up, you know. So can you tell me about your first open mic you ever been to? Doesn't matter when it was, 1,000 years ago or just recently. Did I mishear or kind of got overlapped in my head? Like, was it IOTA or something else, some other place?
No, IOTA was actually the second open mic. The first one was they used to have open mic nights at Jam and Java up over in Vienna, which is another wonderful music club that is still in operation. And I don't believe they're currently having an open mic there. But yeah, that was the first one I actually ever went to, was at Jam and Java in Vienna. And I played a boy named Sue, and maybe an original. I can't quite remember because it was so long ago. But I do remember, and something you probably noticed me doing, here at Rhodeside on every Wednesday. My mic stand, I hadn't tightened it well enough, so the microphone while I was singing and playing guitar kept falling down, and I had to keep scrunching down to sing into the microphone as I was singing A Boy Named Sue for the very first time in front of people that weren't my neighbors across the hall who would listen to me practice, and one time even came with and set up bar stools in their doorway directly across from my apartment, and all of a sudden I heard them clapping and cheering, and I walked out my apartment door, and there was her and her brother, I think, was visiting. We're sitting there listening.
Wow, what a beautiful memory.
So yeah, I think they were technically the first audience before an open mic night was Shannon and her brother, whose name escapes me.
That's a very beautiful name.
My old neighbor.
Whose name escapes you?
Won't you be my neighbor?
So, 1 second. So,
yeah.
Is there a clip of you doing? God knows what that was.
From the Jam and Java one?
Is there a clip of you doing A Boy Named Sue where you go down on the ground, like on YouTube on your channel?
Oh, you mean from that first?
No, not from the
just
first,
in general.
Just in general.
No, because I think since then what I was getting at was I always tighten up the microphones, or I always try to remember to tighten the microphones so that they don't do that.
Right.
So no, there isn't.
But just going along with whatever the microphone stand decides to do is fun sometimes, Like,
this is true. You never know what a microphone stand is going to do to you.
Yeah. You can't completely trust microphone stands all the time.
No.
Yeah. And another thing I'd like to say about Alex, kind of too late into the video. Alex Parez is a open mic host in a few different places around town. And I would like to connect that to my own story, because when I first came over to America, or some people might call it America, I came here in 2019 because I used to do a lot of open mics in Beijing over the years. And when I moved here, I wanted to find a good open mic on Google. I typed open mic near me, and believe it or not, that Google took me to Alex Parez. Not here in DC. We're in Arlington, Virginia right now, but I went to DC. It was a really snowy, rainy day, sideways rain, never fun, on January of 2019, and it was in Alice Morgan in Songbird. And when I first saw this guy, I was like, wow, this is a very heavy metal looking guy. There was, the stage was not set up yet, so I thought it was like a unplugged open mic where everyone sits in a circle and sing as loud as possible. I wasn't quite sure. Then I waited a couple more hours, went around the block, and then when I was back, this guy had set everything up by then. I was like, oh, this is an actual open mic. And a lot of people started coming in, Songbird. And that was one of my first open mics in America, or some people might call it America. And yeah, and 1 month goes by, I go back to Songbird again, which was happening every other Thursday, first and third. And then I meet this guy named Marcos, who I also interviewed in one of the podcasts earlier on. And he tells me, hey Sid, you should go check out Rhodeside Grill open mic. That's where we are right now, Rhodeside Grill. Turns out Rhodeside Grill was right across the street from where I live. So which was pretty cool. It's almost like the universe was telling me, you should go check out Alex Parez's open mic. And here we are. Yeah, so that's my story. So yeah,
And it's a beautiful story. I love it. I love hearing it every time.
Yeah, this is not the first time. I was just telling to you guys this time. So yeah, can you just go briefly over the open mics you do these days for people to find out and discover who might be just like me a couple of years ago?
Yeah, of course, COVID shut everything down and we had to wait a while, and we finally started back up here at Rhodeside Grill full-time in August, every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Do 2 sign-ups at 7:30 and 10, and usually have a feature, does a 30-minute set at 10, just like we were doing at IOTA Club and Cafe. Kept the same format. I bought a chalkboard. I wrecked it immediately and had to duct tape it together.
How did you wreck your chalkboard?
Oh, it probably like got knocked over in the wind or something. I remember it being very windy and it like flying through the air.
Hey, look, it's a chalkboard.
Yeah, well, one time when I was bringing it over here, so that was probably it. That's probably what got it. So no, I love the open mics. I love hosting them. I love playing at them. I go and play our friend Tom's open mic like we're doing tonight. Check out Tom's open mic, you guys too. He does a really cool open mic, a new one that just started at Boston Local. Over, as I like to say, the sack of balls in Boston and the ball sack.
You heard it here first, guys. Every Tuesday over at the Balzac.
That's right, 8:30 p.m. Till you can't drink anymore. Basically, as Tom says, and Tom's super cool. And very supportive. He's come to some of my band shows and really nice guys. So he comes to Rhodeside Grill on Wednesdays and plays. So it's and that's how I feel like it should be. Just like bands go and support other bands, and musicians' friends get out to whenever they can to their friends' shows. The same thing should be with open mic. I feel like it should be a cross-supportive community thing with everyone, and it is. And people go and support each other's open mics. I feel like the different performers get them out as much as they can. And it was wonderful having Marcos and Christopher come down to the other open mic I host at Brittany's on Monday nights down in Lake Ridge and Woodbridge. Sign-ups are at 8 p.m. Music goes 8:30, 11:30 a.m. They surprised me one night, came out, had dinner, hung out all night long, performed, and had a blast. And hope those guys will come on down again, and that you will too. And
I would love to.
Whenever it works out with y'all's schedules. I know it's quite a haul to get all the way down to the sticks to the Lake.
I'd like to haul down there and wreck your chalkboard someday.
Well, I don't do the chalkboard down there, sadly. But you're welcome to wreck it any Wednesday night you want. We can just toss it around through the air outside before or after.
Sure. I haven't flown kites in a long time. We can tie a piece of microphone wire and just fling it across the road, which won't do much.
Oh, and then of course, sadly, no more open mic at Songbird. I was trying to get that into, like we were having every first and third Thursday before COVID. Songbird closed down. They opened up at a new location. They're doing great, from what I understand, having wonderful shows there. Go check out Songbird whenever you can, but no open mic there, unfortunately. From what I understand, the owners prefer having like a smaller separate stage for open mic rather than use their main stage, which makes sense to me. I totally get it. They would have bigger shows and bands come play, so that's my guess is why we haven't resumed there. I haven't inquired. I haven't heard back, but who knows? Maybe one day we'll get back to Songbird too. It's at their new spot in Northeast DC.
Maybe someday.
We'll see. A lot of love for the Songbird. That was a wonderful open mic and wonderful time.
That was wonderful. And Alex is very professional every time he hosts any open mics, Even today he brought all these gear here to have our microphones all set up for today. And also he has a guitar and a musical segment. He's going to do a song for us later on, around the end. So yeah, Alex is kind of tireless when it comes to music and setting up, but also at the same time, would you say tired?
Oh yeah, but I catch my Z's. I sleep in till at least noon every Thursday.
But one thing I appreciate about Alex, even looking at it, it's like it just goes and goes, and one of the hardest working musicians in the community. So basically, we're talking about how grateful we are for open mics and the communities, and we cross each other's open mics. And one day I'll go down to Brittany's and then wreck the chalkboard, or just wreck the stage. And also, I want to, just jokes aside, I want to ask you, what does live music mean to you, Alex? Because you obviously, it's big part of your life, you know. And I could see every time you're playing a song, you're giving most of yourself into the song, you know. Because I almost feel like you're a warrior, and even your voice has a lot of vibratos. Whoa! That doesn't do justice. Wait till you hear the actual song. You know? It sounds like he's in a war, and it's the battleground. Yeah. So what does it mean to you, man?
Oh, everything. but really, it does mean everything. And like you say, you hear that when I perform, and I try to do that and deliver that whenever I perform. And I know you guys do too. So it's wonderful to see you guys and pouring your heart and soul into your songs at open mic nights and at your gigs and shows. I miss going to gigs and shows. It feels very rare that I get to do that, so it's always wonderful, even those brief moments on a set break when I get to run up the street and hear you do a song or two at the TNR Noodle, which I hope they'll keep doing. I hope they'll keep having you there.
TNR Noodle.
It's wonderful to catch you there.
I love noodling in TNR Noodles. Noodling with the guitar. Sorry, we had some guests. That's okay.
More visitors from outer space.
More visitors from outer space. I take a brief time. So anyways, yeah, it's been fun. I used to, at least a couple of weeks ago, I used to play up at TNR Cafe. It's a Chinese restaurant, and Alex used to do a show down here, which is like 3 minutes walk back and forth.
But I drove, because gotta be quick when you're on set break.
Oh yeah. So he has a set break here, and he used to come see me and clap and drop $1. I used to come down after I'm done and have a beer back then, you know.
And I was slamming down that delicious orange tea. I would order one of those. Do you remember the name of those tea? And it has the little googly gobbly things in them. Whatever.
I don't know if those things are supposed to be in your tea. I don't know what they fetch. I'm kidding. It's called bubbles. Boba tea.
Delicious. Oh my gosh.
Here's a picture of the boba tea now. So, where's that? What color you said it was?
Orange.
Orange. So I'm guessing it's orange. The flavor.
You think it's orange tea? Yeah.
Mango maybe?
Could be mango.
Or maybe turmeric.
Yeah, it could be pumpkin.
Pumpkin tea. Sounds good. I've never actually had
Tis the season. It's pumpkin season time.
Is pumpkin latte a thing? Or
Probably. I don't drink anything pumpkin.
Yeah, me too.
Except for pure pumpkin. I'll just take a pumpkin and drink. No,
maybe it's the fall season. I should try pumpkin drink later on. Like a pumpkin latte. Sounds good. I've never had pumpkin latte. Anyways, coming back to Earth, you and I, Alex Parez, coming back from drinks and noodles, I would like to ask you about some of the music you've recorded over the years in the past. I actually own one of your CDs. It's your debut album. So you have most of the originals there, a couple covers thrown in. Could you tell me a little bit of the process of recording that, and when did you do that, and inspiration behind it? Because, and you have a new thing coming up too, which I would like to get into it briefly.
Yeah, thanks, Sid. The first album we released a little over 4 years ago at IOTA Club and Cafe. The last night they were open, sadly. The timing just happened to be that we were going to release our album on the very same night IOTA was going to close. Or the last night they were open. Last show ever at IOTA, which was, of course, wonderful and very sad. But mostly wonderful, I feel like, because they had shows all day long, starting at 12 o'clock till 3 in the morning, you know, 20 different bands or something. And I mean, you talk about a community coming together. Everyone came together for that show, and it was absolutely wonderful. And such a treat to get to release our album that night, and with all our friends there and family. And I guess we recorded that. We did the monkey song early because we were doing a music video for it, and then we kind of just sat on that one song. I'll blame myself for that. I'll say I just sat on that one song for a while, and then I was like, hey, we should make the rest of that album. And Jason was like, okay, sure. So we did, and it happened, and those songs have been playing for a while, so they were mostly ready. They have still grown since we recorded them. I do things slightly different on probably every song, I bet, as will happen over time, and I hope I keep figuring out new ways to abuse and refuse the old tunes from that album, and I still love playing every single one of them. I've been playing them relentlessly this past month since it was the 4-year anniversary of its release. And
could you tell me your top 3 tracks? It doesn't have to be in order from that album.
Oh, well, Raining Down is number 1, and Cry January Sober number 2, and probably Ramona number 3, although they're probably almost tied for first.
I love it when you guys play Ramona here, especially you. Here's a clip of Alex doing Ramona.
Ramona at the Ramada Inn by John Dustin. Wonderful tune, wonderful song there.
You're screaming bloody murder, and you step feet back from the microphone a few feet and just yell, what's going on through your head? Is this like, or is there something else going on? But I can't, that's a silly question maybe, perhaps.
No. Because I have found myself, now that I've played these songs so much, and what I've heard Leo Kaki say too, when he finishes a song, I heard him say at one of his performances, he was like, I was just singing about this, and this while I was singing, while I was performing. Well, he usually just does instrumentals, but while he's sitting there playing songs, he's usually off thinking about other stuff. So that is a thing, and it does happen to me, although I feel like it doesn't really happen on Ramona. Probably because I'm too focused on delivery and singing and playing the guitar and trying not to screw up and all those things. Even though I've played it a billion times, there's still my brain likes to fart more than my butt. So I never know when that's going to happen when I'm singing a song.
Interesting. You heard it here first, guys. But there is. I know you felt it a lot too because you're a musician and you do it way more over the weeks and every week. There are moments when everything connects and you're just like in there.
Yeah.
So those are good moments and beautiful moments.
And especially when one of the audience is there with you, which I've had happen recently, was just wonderful. When I was playing at Ireland's Four Courts for the first time a couple Saturdays ago, everyone there was really nice and supportive and listening and applauding and tipping, and sold the CD, and all these kids were really digging it. It was really cool, and I just rocked their faces off as much as I could because that's what they wanted, and my feeling is that's what I should give them every time I play anywhere. So I try to do that. I kind of sound like a pompous jerk, don't I?
I would know.
No, but really and truly, I'm not trying to be
I don't think
like that.
I wasn't sure.
I'm trying to be as professional as I can whenever I perform, is I guess what I want to say. And to me, that's what it is putting on a good show for the audience that's there.
Yeah, but there are always these venues, and you would know more about this than anybody else. But there are venues where people clearly just talking, and maybe some even facing their backs. And when we were just talking about how we're completely there are also moments when we know, like, this fucker over here. You know?
Yeah, no, there as
peace and love to everybody. I don't mean to spread the hate.
And that everyone has said it. You've said it. I've said it. There are those soul-sucking gigs where you don't really feel, you're like, why am I doing this? No one's listening. No one's clapping. And I've had those as well recently. And you just never know. Sometimes the folks are there just to talk and drink and hang out, and they don't want a live music show. So one of the things I've always kept close to my heart during those times is when Mark Arm, he's said this, Mudhoney, you know, you can't be getting up there and doing this for them. You got to be doing it for you. And sometimes that's the only person you're doing that for when you're at those types of gigs. So you got to just, you know, and it's those times when I'm most grateful that I get to play my original songs and songs by my songwriting heroes, you know, local friends of mine, as well as you know, the famous folks, you know, bandmates, Jason Mendelson, Derek Avery, John Brustine, we mentioned earlier, Butler, Michael Maloney, all those local songwriters. Getting to play their songs is what, first and foremost, what I try to keep in my mind when having those soul-sucking gigs where no one's clapping, no one cares.
Yeah, it's not gonna last forever, you know.
Yeah, and
I mean, when I say like last forever, what I'm saying is that set is not like infinite, because it's gonna pass.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, that's the great thing about is those gigs is at the end. And you get to go to the next gig, which will hopefully be better. And I will say that, and I told you this before too, I think is what is wonderful is when the staff at the venue, the manager on duty, and the servers and bartenders are all clapping and wooing and trying to get the crowd into you, which was happening to me recently at that gig, where none of their patrons were, which is wonderful that an establishment has such kind and caring people that are willing to do that, even if their patrons don't respond in kind and do that. They were still doing it for me all night long, which was just wonderful. I would be happy to go back and play there, honestly, because a gig's a gig, and the staff were super nice. People working there were just wonderful. So,
well, that's very nice of you to say, Alex. Well deserved for them. I mean, I don't know when this is gonna be coming out, and so I wouldn't be able to promote your upcoming gigs. But would you like to give a shout out to a few places where people might run into you on certain days?
Yeah,
in the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area.
I know.
Outer space.
Or outer space, yeah. I know upcoming this weekend I'll be at Craft House Arlington Friday, November 5th. This will probably come out after that, but that's fine. I'm going to talk about it anyway. Because I love Craft House and they love us. They've had us. This will be our third time playing there, so it'll be wonderful to be back this Friday, 7 to 10, Craft House, and with the new drummer. Going through drummers like we're going through water. We're not. It's just drummers are hard to get a hold of, and their availability, yada yada yada.
Water is an interesting analogy.
Right. I probably should have said something better, but I didn't have anything. Anyway, so we love Craft House. We love playing there, and so happy that they love us and want us back this often. It's great. And I'll be a solo on Saturday the 6th at Ireland's Four Courts again, so it'll be great to be back there. I loved playing there last month, and hopefully have another super nice crowd. I'm at the winery at Bull Run. I love playing there Sunday morning. 11 to 2:30, and we're working on getting a trio gig at Brittany's, where I host the open mic Monday nights for Saturday, December 4th, 8 to midnight.
Brittany's is the one in Woodbridge?
Down in Lake Ridge and Woodbridge, 8 to 10, Saturday, December 4th. Hopefully that'll get confirmed soon. It's not yet, but I'm pretty sure it will be. This will be a trio with myself and Terry Bowes, of course, a super awesome friend and harmonica player, harmony vocalist, singer, wonderful, nice person, and our drummer Dan, our main drummer Dan Perriello, will be playing drums with us.
Yeah, so basically what Alex is trying to say is, get off their asses. I'm kidding. Peace and love. What he's trying to say is, so he's, no matter when this is going to come out, he usually plays Rhodeside Grill upstairs, solo act, Ireland's Four Courts, which is also in Courthouse, Brittany's down in Woodbridge,
Lake Ridge,
Craft House once in a while.
Yeah, almost once a month now.
Anyways, we'll be moving on to our final segment very shortly. But before that, I would like to ask Alex Parez a question, and here's that question now. Hey Alex, so I heard a little birdie told me that you're working on a new album. Is it ever gonna come out, or will it be out, or am I just hearing things? Or birds don't talk?
It will be out. It is done. It is just sitting there waiting to be released upon the world. Okay, so yes, the album will be all cover songs, 13 tunes by local friends of mine, bandmates Jason Mendelson, Derek Avery, Tom Christine, Brandon Butler, Michael Maloney, and then other folks, Bruce Springsteen, Erica Winterstrom, let's see, who am I missing? Bob Seger, Julian Welch, and David Rawlings. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were kind of kidding when you said Bob Seger.
No, I'm dead serious.
Oh, kind of reminded me of Pete Seeger, maybe.
Oh, no, not to be confused with Pete.
Right. Yeah.
Sneaky Pete.
So keep an eye out for his record, and I'll be sharing his link downstairs for his website.
Yeah, it's the best place to find stuff out, like you were saying, my website, alexperez.com, easy peasy.
We also have Instagram, I'll share downstairs. Not downstairs, I mean right here, goddammit, somewhere.
down like on the screen.
In hell.
There'll be words that say where to go on the internet.
On the internet, on the description. One thing I've noticed, thanks for all that, please do check it out. And I will be sharing a little clip of his, one of his songs from the first album called Monkey Song, if that's alright with you.
Please,
for
yes.
the audience, a little clip. Here it is now.
Which one of you stupid monkey stole my stinking bananas away from me? To which one?
Wow, what a wonderful, uplifting video that was. Hey Alex. Also, one thing I've noticed, Alex Parez doesn't drink alcohol, at least now, these days. I don't know, back in the day, you were wild. El Rojo.
A little bit wild. Back in
One thing I've noticed Alex do in every music venues I see him is maybe get coffee or food, and then he always gets interesting desserts. Could you tell me some things about your love for sweet things and desserts?
I got some sweet teeth. That's the problem. So,
Doesn't have to be a problem.
it's not a problem for me. I love the sweets. You know this all too well. I loved getting the delicious brownies at Renegade when we had open mic at the Renegade up the street Tuesday nights was always a treat. Hey, no pun intended. And
Hey, that's got it.
no, we love the Renegade. All the folks there. It was a wonderful time having open mic there. Now it's over at Boston Local. Now Tom is hosting. He's moved us all over there. It's great.
What dessert did you try?
It was just the brownies. I always got the brownies.
Anyways, I'd like to thank dear friend Alex Parez. Let's do a formal handshake and be awkward.
Thank you, Sid.
Now it's like, oh,
You gotta do that too, right?
let's start from the beginning.
We'll just do like a normal. Or
Yeah.
now we do a thumb war.
4, 5, 3, 2, 1. I will be the strongest gut there.
Oh no!
Anyways, on the next segment, we have dear Alex Parez playing a song. Would you like to tell us something about the song to our viewers before we go on and attempt it?
Same thing I always say. It's an old tune I wrote when I was 15 years old, almost 30 years ago. I'm going to keep playing it for another 30 years. Damn it. If it kills me. And hopefully it doesn't kill me though. And no, so...
Don't leave us, goddammit.
Wonderful tune. I'm not tired or proud. Love playing it and play it for you now.
Not to